I do, Stuart.
Yes.
Today, I observed spanning across your forehead a mark that went around, over and around your third eye and
No,
emanating.
I can't understand you. You have to speak clear.
Okay. Today, I observed on your forehead, spanning across your forehead and going around your third eye, this mark, and emanating from it during the entire class was this very, very powerful pulsing energy. And I still see the indentation. And I wondered if you could talk about that.
I mean, how do you really talk about it? Look, it's the third eye. It's open, projects energy, it projects power, it projects light, consciousness, and it's part of the organic development of a chakra system. That's what happens. This area right here, this area that receives knowledge, wisdom, enables you to trust life. It's quiet, it's open, and oftentimes people see that kind of projection coming out of it. You can see right here, there's like a phoenix
Yeah.
bird,
Yes.
coming out of the ashes. It's all about rebirth. It's part of the evolution of this meditation practice that kind of thing starts to happen. When it starts, I don't know. You understand? I don't know when these things begin. One day I see them, I feel them, they're part of my life, and I'm grateful. It enables me to teach this class in a much deeper way. The energy gets stronger, more powerful, and helps to develop chakras in people that are willing to open to receive it. That's my job. That's my job.
Yes, I saw the bird and everything. It was so amazing.
I'm like a mobile station. You come and fill up your tanks here. But this is not just me. I mean, I used to see this in Rudy all the time. That kind of openness, that kind of energy coming out of him. And when people devote their lives to building a spiritual life, it's the results. This is what happens to them. They're no longer, they're no longer functioning from ego, from mind, they're a servant of God, a servant of spirit. That energy comes through.
Mm.
Just open and receive it. I mean it. That's what it's for. It's not for me to run a stoplight system here. You open and receive it. Let it really nurture you inside. Let it change you. It's the Shakti. It's the really powerful force of energy that flows from the source of creative energy. Its purpose is to nurture everyone who comes to these classes.
Thank you. I feel so fortunate. Thank you.
Well, let it work on you. Rudy used to tell me the same thing. Let it work on you. Look, that's what we're all here for. That's what I'm here for. It's my purpose. It's the sole purpose of my life at this point. Yeah, when I was younger, I built businesses, ashrams. But Eventually you've done it all that stuff, and you get, hey, the purpose is to serve God, to transmit and channel that kind of energy so that people that come to these classes can receive it. People that come to my retreats can receive that. And sometimes you wonder why people, miss classes. What could absolutely be more important than receiving energy like this to grow in one's life? To have dinner with somebody, to go to a movie, you know, it's 1 hour. You receive this kind of energy, which will absolutely affect every other area of your life and make every other area of your life more poignant, richer, more beautiful. Takes away nothing, yet you got to
Mhm.
surrender everything. I don't know. One to takes away nothing, yet you have to surrender everything. Does anyone else have a question? And it develops one thing that is absolutely essential for not only spiritual growth, but for living here like a human being, and that is unconditional love. The ability to forgive people, whatever they do. And it's not easy because I see people, look, people vanish from here for 2 months, a month, 3 months, and they almost just take it for granted. If they want to come back, I'm going to be here. And I think that's very, very unhealthy. It doesn't work and it doesn't help anybody to grow spiritually. But, if somebody has I mean, look, Cyrus just had a baby. That takes up all the energy of life, having a baby. I know, I had one. Well, what I'm talking about is people, well, they somehow vanish the 2 months, 3 months. Even to miss a class is so silly. Unless it's life and death kind of thing. I always used to kid around. There's 165 hours in a week. All this meditation requires is 7 hours of that 165. And if the need is strong enough to do spiritual work, life changes. I know from my own life, when I was younger, I used to work in restaurants a lot, 5 years of my life, waiting tables, tending bar. I was once a bouncer in a restaurant. All kinds of jobs I had working in restaurants. And, you know, it was really unbelievable because they would tell me, well, you're going to work these hours. And I had I couldn't say, no, I can't. I got to these were the hours that were available for you. You had to work them. And I remember I needed a job while I was studying with Rudy, and he had classes on certain days. And I walked into a restaurant, and I was ready to reject the job if I couldn't have the hours that I wanted so I can attend classes. My need was so strong. And I was talking to the manager, and he said, well, what hours do you want to work? I couldn't believe my ears. What hours do you want? And I told him, he said, okay, we'll fit you in those hours. It left every class with Rudy open to me. And the only thing I could attribute it to was my need to have a spiritual life. It was so strong that it changed everything. It made it possible for me to do the exact thing I needed to do to have a spiritual. No, I'm not saying people shouldn't go on vacations and this and that. You know, I went on a vacation although I did meditation every day, but I was on vacation. But what I'm saying that when it's a primary need to grow, you understand, it begins to effectually change the way you live, makes things available that aren't ordinarily available to people, gives you choices you can make that enable you to truly do what you have to do to grow and have a spiritual life. I saw it happen in my life, you know? So really what I'm saying is there are no excuses. You have to tap your need. And yes, you know, there are things that come up. People get sick, they get this, they understand things happen that require them going and doing perfectly understandable. I would never say anything to anybody. I appreciate it if people let me know. They don't just disappear. But it's perfectly not a problem. But the bottom line of all of this, what I'm talking about, is the need to have a spiritual life is so strong that it's like Moses with that wand and the Red Sea parts, and suddenly you can walk out of bondage and slavery into the promised land. That's what that need is, to have to be with God, to have a spirit, and miraculous things start to happen in one's life. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, if there are no more questions, thank you. God bless you all. Thank you for dragging all this stuff out of me. You know, I listen too. Trust me, you know, doing this 7 days a week is not easy. 7 times a week is not easy. And there are sometimes I say, Stuart, what the hell? I really mean that. And then, no, Stuart, you got to do this. This is your karma, your work. People, you know, you have to be a channel for spiritual energy. That is why you were born here. Does anyone have a question? All right, there'll be a class on Sunday. Thank you, and God bless you all. and take all of this in. Don't, well, the class is over, and now I can go rumble and go to the bar or this. Take this in. Take it all in. This is Shakti. It's energy. It has a singular purpose. It's given to us as a way of really growing in our lives. And look at your family different, the people you love differently, have more patience, have more gratitude for what God has put into your life. And see how magical and full, how sacred everything is that we live, and enjoy it. Have fun. Have fun. That really is the key to all of this. Being able to enjoy one's life. Okay, thank you. God bless you all. And I will see you all on Sunday. And have a wonderful weekend. And
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. Good night.
You.
bye.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.